apology. Peter, what I'm about to say, if you like feel bad about it, I don't give a fuck. You want to know what I'm about to say? Fuck Rudeboy, fuck Mr. P, bring back PSquare.
After that reunion, so-called reunion, that I thought the reunion was for us brothers. Next day being Friday, Jude, I think Paul called me and said I should come to his house. I came. I saw him and Jude. Jude has the document. I said, hey Peter, take this document, sign here. Paul, sign here. Paul was picking to sign. I said, what's the document for? He said, oh, it's to open Access Bank account. That people are beginning to call for shows, you know, calling hundreds of thousands, hundreds of millions. We need to put the money in Access. He works with Access, he knows the. I said, calling for shows for who? So what do I mean? I said, Paul, you know, tell Jude. Jude said, tell me for what? Ah, Peter, do we need to go there? I said, no, Paul, come on now. Paul now said, he said, no, they do PSquare. Jude was not like, what's all the whole paparazzi and all that? I said, no, we're back as brothers, bro. I'm done with PSquare. I'm not interested in PSquare anymore. He said, why? I said, has any other thing brought problem for us before except PSquare? He said, but that means you don't have. I said, no. I forgive him, bro. Don't get me wrong. I forgive him, but I'm not interested. Why that was going on? Paul was trying to, you know, convince me. Jude said, Paul, leave. I don't know what to do. Jude left. Apparently, the next day being Saturday, Jude then now sent for my manager, MM, and the guy that was managing Paul, Sheo, called them together. We all went to Paul's studio. And I said, oh, that Peter understands, I get your point. However, you don't want what has happened before to happen again, but no problem. What will happen is that he's going to bring these two individuals to the team. I said, to the team to manage what? I'm not trying to stress them more, but you need to give me a reason. He now said, oh, that he and Jude will be the official manager. My manager, MM, will be assistant manager. And Sheo, Paul's manager, will be road manager. He offered them money, how much he will be paying them every show. I started laughing. Paul, my manager, and Paul's manager even started laughing. Paul started feeling like it's becoming an embarrassment moment for Jude. He now called me and said he doesn't like this thing. You know, he took me to the living room. Doesn't like this in that time. Look how I'm embarrassing Jude. I said, Paul, what embarrassment here? Let's be honest, bro. Let's be very honest. Why that was going on? Paul said, is it because of sharing formula? Because in this share, we share 3 ways. In fact, we don't even share 3 ways. How we share money is, I'll come and say, hey, I need to pay my kids' school fees. How much? Maybe it's 12 million naira. Jude will sign a check, 12 million, and give me. Sign 12, Paul. Sign 12 for himself. That was how we were running PSquare. Oh, Peter, you want to buy this car? Take. Paul, take. Him, take. Now, Paul now say, you know one thing. It is because of the sharing formula, Peter. So I will stop all this. Me and you 35. Jude go take 30. I said, Paul, no. Take 30 to do what? To manage one PSquare. I'm not interested. And I look at Paul, I said, I ask you one question. I won't use pigeon now. I beg you. You did try make Jude be our manager. How come 5.5 years, me and you know they together? How come Jude no be your manager? You know now, Peter, you know, if Jude be my manager, everybody go to think say that 2 against 1. Really? That is exactly what it has been. Let's make something clear here. It don't look as if I hate Jude or I don't like him to manage us. But let's recall back that Beyonce fired her own father. Usher Raymond fired his own mother. Late Michael Jackson fired his own father. We PSquare, we even told our own mother to step aside. So what is all this? Your brother must manage you. And I know a lot of people start saying, oh, how come I don't want Jude to be our manager? Let's be very honest, guys. Before Jude came in, or before we brought Jude in as our manager, we've had several managers. One, Chioma Ugoji, she went from being a dance group manager to PSquare's manager. Later on, our mom became our manager for like few months. Then, of course, you all know Bayo Dusami, popularly known as Howto. That's the guy that actually discovered us fully. He became our manager for over at least 6 years before we now brought in Jude. Now the question is, within these 3 before Jude, have we had any, has Peter and Paul ever had any fight or any issue? Because none of them would take sides. None of them took sides. At the moment where Paul was trying to convince me, and I said, I actually gave it a thought. Maybe try to give it a try. I said, okay, Paul, you want PSquare back? No problem. Let's go back upstairs. I've decided to make an offer. Because he was trying to convince me. And we went upstairs where the 2 managers, including Jude, were there. And I said, so guys, Paul, you guys want PSquare back? No problem. Here is what it's going to look like. I and Paul will set up a company. I and Paul will be only signatory. I and Paul will take care of every administrative when it comes to finance, signatory, everything. And I and Paul will go with 40-40. The 3 manager, which is now Jude, Shehu, and MM, will go with 20%. Jude does say he doesn't understand that if that's the case, he'd rather work for free. And I now said, gentlemen and lady, Jude now works for free. And that's how I ended that meeting. This is the PSquare everybody think they are back. Within 4 or 5 days, me and Paul didn't see eye to eye after that incident. Until Paul now came to me. After we went to Sierra Leone, because there was a show that was booked for Mr. P today in Sierra Leone, the next day for Paul. We finally called it that we were coming together. After we went to Sierra Leone and came back, Paul now said to me, so there's nothing for Jude. I said, not about Jude. I'm not even doing PSquare. Paul, it's not about Jude here. Can we just come back as brothers? Can we live life as brothers first? Let me even experience it. Let me experience living as brothers. Now everything is looks like there's a competition running around everybody. I don't like it. And I said, okay, no problem. More take your second option. I said, which is my second option? Me, I should set up a company, blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, Jude cannot take that offer. So me, I will continue. I said, no problem. We sent our lawyer, he came. Brought a document, set up, mode of work. Everything Peter and Paul 50-50. Every decision 50-50. Sharing formula 50-50. We signed. We started up Square Root Entertainment. We started up. Now, we started doing shows, started the PSquare reunion. While we were planning the PSquare reunion, I overheard something that was very disturbing. Like, it was very disturbing. Proud to Paul's apology to my wife that Jude and Paul had a serious fight. Remember, we're neighbors. Yeah. And I started doing my investigation. First of all, I wanted to play ignorant, like, no need, you know. But 4, or should I say 3 individuals from Paul's camp confirmed it, that Paul and Jude actually had a fight minutes or hours before Paul came to my house to meet my wife. And this was what I discovered. That Paul claimed he borrowed Jude 90 million. Now, he wanted Jude to give the money back to him, but he wanted this time Jude to borrow him 90 million because there's some property he wanted to buy somewhere in Lekki that he doesn't have the complete money. That even with the 90 million you want to borrow from Jude, it's still going to be complete. The money is not going to be complete at the end, but I need to give it to the owner of the property as a deposit. But when he approached Jude, that was when they had that issue. And that Paul's PA and I think maybe his manager were there. Paul had already told them that, oh, listen, Jude is owing me. So that night they had an altercation that when Paul approached Jude, they said, hey, listen, I need my 90 million. Paul, Jude, I said, which 90 million? The one I gave you, how did I borrow 90 million from you? Everybody around were looking at Paul. Okay, you've told us that Jude was owing you 90 million. Jude said, show me now I'm owing you 90 million. It's not easy for Paul to bring out his phone and say, look at how you are owing me, blah. Paul couldn't proceed with that. Jude said, tell me now, show me how I take borrow 90 million from you. Jude now brought his phone and showed Paul's team and said, hey, listen, Paul, you said you borrowed me this money 2-3 months ago. Guys, look. Jude bought his phone. I said, guys, see. 3 months ago, see hundreds of thousands of dollars that I have in my account. But show me where you gave me 90 million. Then that what came out of Paul's mouth was, Jude, you know, give me this 90 million. No wahala. I go tell Peter waiting day. Now, I'm sure most of you don't understand what that means. It means I will go and confess to Peter. Obviously, there is something going on. Despite I overheard these things, I guarantee you, I still played and I stayed calm. I believe if whatever that has happened after we broke up, it's understandable. But no. These things have been happening years, and I'm about to prove it to everyone right now. And so that was how Paul walked out from Jude, went to his bedroom, wore his slippers, washed his, because he was crying, washed his face, told his PA and his manager he should escort him, wants to come to my house. He said, how about Peter no day now, Peter die America. He said, no problem, now Lola in one go meet. That was how Paul went to meet Lola. So, the whole reunion was because he has a fallout with Jude. Now, I'll come to that. We announced our world tour. We started touring. I discovered that the people handling my distribution as Mr. P are the same people handling Rudeboy. I said, let's give them PSquare. Jude refused. Paul refused. This was Paul who bragged about these individuals. He doesn't even know that they don't handle my own distribution. So, while that was going on, during our tour, I discovered that some people wanted to buy PSquare catalog. They walked up to me. I said, no problem, I'll discuss with my brothers. They offered millions of dollars. They can buy it off for 10 years. After 10 years, return it back or buy it off for life. So me and Paul had a discussion in London, because me and Paul were touring. Remember, Jude was not with us. Came back. By then, when I walked up to Jude and Paul, I said, listen, how far? Some people want to buy juice. Say, no problem. They have some people that are ready to even pay now. He now told me the amount. It was less. I said, no, these guys are offering more. All they want from us is to give them a back end. How much this thing generates every month, which I do not have. And I asked Jude. Jude said, it's not possible. I said, how? That these other people are better. I said, no problem. Whatever he gave the other people, give it to me. Let me give it to these people. Highest bidder. Why that was going on? I kept on insisting. And I walked up to Paul. I said, why is that Jude doesn't want to give me this back end? He said, I don't know. But I don't know anything about this. The music I do. You know, Peter, I don't know about all these things. Really, Paul? No problem. I played ignorant. Then, the same people called me. Paul's manager and my manager, who are now our manager, now said, do you need to throw it to other companies like Universal, Sony, to know highest bidder? I said, okay. They went and submit the whole proposal that PSquare wants to sell their catalog. Next thing, everyone demanded they wanted the back end. I persuaded Jude to give it to me. He now said, it's going to take 3.5 months. I started feeling somehow. If I tell you to give me your statement of account, few minutes, even with your app, you bring it. He's telling me 3.5 months. So that's how long it will take. I still play ignorant. Waited for the 3.5 months. Walked up to him after 3.5 months. He kept on doing like this. I walked up to Paul. Paul, what is going on? Say, Peter, I don't know anything about this whole thing where they talk about. I persuaded. Junior said, I should send him my email. He forwarded it. I looked at it. What he sent me was how many streams, but without how much it generates. I looked at it. I said, no, I just sent forward to the two managers. Now this is where it becomes interesting. Now the two managers sent this back ends out. Nobody got back. So imagine people that have offered huge amount of money on this same catalog. After going through the tampered back end, most of them came back with an unbelievable lower amount offer. For example, imagine someone offering to buy a product for 500 naira, and after seeing the back end of the product, they're now offering 10 naira. How? I went to Paul. Have you heard? See what's going on. In fact, one of them even said, bro, who sent this to you? I said, why? Whoever that sent this thing to you, or is it the distribution company, got them arrested. I said, it was my brother that sent it to me. I don't think your brother knows what has gone wrong. I became worried. And I said, okay, the best thing I can do is, we have a management company called Non-Sign Entertainment. Director is Peter, Paul, and Jude. Jude owns 40, Peter and Paul own 30. Management company, what that means is that if you pay a PSquare 100 million, management takes 10%. Instead of that 10%, Peter and Paul are managing themselves. Means the manager can even go with 4 million, Peter and Paul go 3 million. The same 19 million still remains for the artist. I said, the best thing I can do, I contacted all the account officers of Non-Sign Entertainment in different banks. Zenith, Echo, and FCMB. I contacted all of them. Unfortunately, I contacted them about Friday. It was 5:30. Banks are closed by then. I told them to send me statement of account. All of them agreed. By Monday, I was calling all of them. None of them were picking my phone calls. I got one frustrated. I kept on calling him like this. And I said, Oga. I said, what's going on? He said that Jude laid an instruction. They should dare not send it to me. Tell me how do you guys expect me to feel? And I went to Paul. I said, Paul, I demanded for PSquare's management statement of account that me and you are saying the shareholder. But the information I got that Jude said they should dare not send it to me. Can you call? Let's go and meet Jude. Maybe Jude don't they use the account, they do other things, you know? Maybe that's why. I don't understand, Paul. Peter again, the music I do, I don't know anything about these things. I knew something was wrong. Since I don't bank with Zenith, I don't bank with EcoBank. I bank with FCMB. I call my account officer. I said, hey, bro, I say, please, this statement of account of our FCMB not signed entertainment. He says he's not the account officer, but am I a director? I said, yes. He now said to me, he looked at it and said, well, Peter, you're not a signatory. I said, that's it. He said, no, he can't send it to me. He said, do me a favor. Look at this account. What did you see? What did you notice? He looked at it. He said, I can see it. Money is going in. But I can't say it. Let me just send you a screen grab a page and send to you. So he screen grabbed the page and sent to me. And I noticed something. A new PSquare breakup was in on the 22nd September. Within that period, because there was an open, I sent out an open letter for the breakup that time, 2017. But something happened July. On the 16th of July or 26th of July, I'll put it up there. You see where an individual paid money within 2-3 days. The person paid about $25,000 something dollars. It's an aggregator, they pay for more like royalties. In 3-4 days time, 2 individuals split that money into 2. Who are those? Look at it there. Paul and Jude. And I saw a place where Jude actually sent that $5,000 to Paul, sent I think 15 or 20,000 to himself. I knew something was going on. And I asked him, I said, can you send me? He said he can't. What did I do? I went to our general lawyer. I showed it to him. He said, this is wrong. But let's find out from Jude. He walked up to Paul and Jude. This is the response Jude gave him. So because of 12,850, I'm going because probably no problem. My Paul will contribute the money and give me. No. It doesn't work that way. I know people will say, because of money, now they fight. If that money was not important, why would they steal it from me? Let's be very honest. Like I said, even as people are watching this video, they will be insulting me. I'm used to it. I get this skin now, but I will still say my truth. This is the first time I'm coming out. Now type at the type, but I'll say it. Anybody who don't like her, I don't send. Now, while that was going on, the lawyer came back to me and said, Peter, I beg, I don't want me PSquare get a problem again. Mona just, I say, this is not PSquare issue. This is transparency. I need to know what's going on. Something is fishy. While that was going on, PSquare were on top in Europe. I didn't want to disturb myself about it. We then finally took PSquare catalog and gave it to the same distribution guys that handled Mr. P and Rudeboy. Probably they thought I was suspecting something, so decided to let go of it. We gave it to them. First month of, they said they're going to start paying royalties after certain weeks. I received some thousands of dollars, which I've never received as a royalty. In fact, I've never received dollars as royalty for PSquare. It has been every quarter. I collected like 3 million, 4 million. That was it. Every quarter. This time I saw thousands of dollars. When the people sent it to me, I said, is this money for the three of us? They said, no, it's for me. That they've sent for Jude, they sent for Paul. I'm supposed to be happy. I need to find out who has been collecting this money. Yes. I walked up to Paul. Did you receive some amount? He said, yes. Please. This amount that you received. Who has been collecting it? He said, I'm supposed to be happy that money just got. I said, I am. But I didn't know, why am I getting this large sum of money? I said, Peter, I don't know what you're making, I tell you. I went to Jude. This is where Jude made the biggest mistake. When I confronted Jude, he said to me, am I looking for my royalties? I said, something like that. I said, something like that. So I should go and meet South African people that I signed with. They are with my royalties. Did I meet South African people when PSquare broke up? I did. Did I sign something with them? I did. But they were not collecting royalties because Jude refused them access. He said Jude refused them. All they could collect was mechanicals in their own radio station within their own territory. I guarantee you that this mechanical, within that 5 years that even PSquare broke up, they never even sent me even $2,000. Yeah. And I walked up to Jude and said, never collected anything. So I should go and meet the people. I called the people. They stood on their right. Send me a document that they've never collected any royalties for Peter. Questions started coming up on my side. Now I knew that we signed iRocking.com, a company called SACEM in France, which me, I was one who got that deal. But those ones, they pay artists directly. They don't even want to pay any management. So what that means, they get their money, they pay the Peter and Paul, they split the money into two. If you want to share 3 ways, there should be a document that says, Peter, if you collect this money, Paul, put in this account. That's the same. The other company is Free Me Digital. Those are the ones that paid that naira I was talking about every quarter. When I contacted those guys that are paying these royalties, the way I was telling them, where is this money coming from, they said to me, Peter, is the money too small? Don't worry, there are still more people. So people will notice that people sign with April. It seems like I only knew that we signed people paying us royalties, only 2 or 3 companies. I didn't know there were 11 of them. If you come ahead, come for me. I hear people say, this money, you don't already get money. Why are you bothering yourself? No. Every penny must be accounted for. It's a pure betrayal. I'm still heading somewhere. Now, on my own, I started thinking, what's the best way to go about this? I walked up to Paul. I said, this is what is going on. Jude said, my royalty will show people. But Peter, there's nothing. Now, Paul always want to play ignorant, which I don't blame him. I've already had in mind that something was going on. Probably I'm trying to see, to prove to Paul that, Paul, see what has been happening. And I contacted those guys paying royalties. They mentioned to me Northside, but it was not Northside Entertainment. That's the people they collected the royalty from. It was supposed to be Northside Entertainment. That's how I overheard Northside Music. I walked up to Paul. Paul, have you heard about Northside Music? So you share our own Northside Entertainment, eh? I said, what about Jude? Paul check. Say it not be Jude. Say Jude owns Northside Inc. That I should go and check City Morgan's album. I went to City Morgan's album. Paul was the one who told me to go and check City Morgan's album. Guys, look at City Morgan's album. All you see is Northside Inc. It was not Northside Music. So who then owns Northside Music? I walked up to Jude. Jude, I spoke to Jude about Northside Music. He said to me, oh, all he can tell me is, so people in South Africa, no mind. Right. She people don't tell me I check Cynthia Morgan album. What did I see? Northside Inc. So why am I asking him that question? I left. Now, until one of the aggregators sent a representative, the people that want to buy PSquare catalog, to come to the house. He sat here. He said I should tell Paul to come. Say, yo, Peter, please, we cannot go from people wanting to buy you guys catalog for a certain amount. Now they can't even buy so amount. We need the original back end. I looked at Paul. This was came out of Paul's mouth. And I know Peter I've told you he's suspecting Jude. I said, Peter didn't tell me anything. What are you talking about? Peter, what's going on? I said, Paul, go ahead. While that topic was going on, I looked at Paul. I said, Paul, I know something is wrong, but I'm not going to say anything. There's a route you guys don't want me to go to. I don't want to go that route. So I said, Peter, what do you mean? I said, let me talk to my brother. While I was saying that, Paul stood up. Say he's coming. Where are you going to? We're having a meeting. I said, I leave him. Paul left. He was looking at me, what are you suspecting? I said, I think Paul has gone to go tell you that Peter don't catch them. He said, wow. Then now showed me a message where the guys that wanted to buy the catalog say, I saw PSquare royalty, so amount. Is there something that they are hiding away from us not to see? Or is there something they are not telling them? While we were waiting, nearly about 40 minutes, Paul came back. Thank you, Paul. Come and say, Peter, see you. That's how we break up. See what happen. See what happen. I told Paul, how far? This is Paul's response. I just go see Jude. I thought you wanted to go and see him to discuss. No, there's nothing like that. I said, Paul, he cannot allow me to go where I want to go. This was Paul's words. Where you want to go? I said, I never know. I said, Peter, go and do your worst. My twin brother told me, Peter, go and do your worst. In his words. Quote me. In my house. I left. I went upstairs. And again, I can guarantee you guys, the more people are watching this video, most of you guys will even watch it. They will start insulting me, but like I said, I'm used to it. But I will say my truth. I guarantee you that what these guys did to me, none of you will take 1%, 1/4 of it. None of you guys will take it. If I talk, they will say, but you guys are blood brothers. So we're not brothers when these crimes were committed. Like we're not brothers. Let me head back to the story. Now, on my own, I have to start investigating. I've already known that something is wrong. For that last word, Peter, go and do your worst. I started trying to dig out how to get Northside Entertainment statement account. Started doing my investigation. While I was doing it, this was then after the election. I mean, there was a thing going on. Yabo Joe said government came out and said she's owing certain amount for tax. We said because we support P2B, maybe they want to do the same thing to us. Next thing they brought tax and said me I'm owing 5-something million. I think Paul's own is 40-something, Jude 50-something. I said I've been paying my tax. But I don't know that when I pay, they assume it's for the 3 building. So the guy handling the tax called me and said, Peter, after a few days, said, Peter, I have good news. I said, what? That Jude that is owing almost 50-something million, Jude can now pay only 5 million. I said, why? That Jude was able to prove that since PSquare broke up, he only earns royalties, doesn't do anything. I said, which company? They say Northside. I said, PSquare money is different from Mr. P and Rudeboy when we break up. So you should use the same Northside. Since we're also Northside for us. He said, how do I prove it? I said, me and Paul are also. I went upstairs and I brought CAC document of Northside Entertainment. The guy looked at it. He was on the phone. I said, can I see the statement of account that you say you use for Jude, which is our company? The mistake the guy did was to hand me over his phone and I opened it. It was Northside Music. I was right all this while. It was not Northside Entertainment. It was not Northside Inc. Now, if you insult me, now the way they insult me, I guarantee you, say even if they serve you and your friend food, put 2 meat, your friend just carry 2 meat chop, you go fight them. You know, say that 2 meat belongs to now. If I talk, they say they fight your brothers because of money. We'll get there. I took the phone, transferred the statement of account to my laptop, to my phone. Thank God it was iPhone, so I airdropped them and went upstairs. Because of what I saw. I'll pull up the account. Up. Look, guys, look at it. It's Northside Music. He said Northside Music. Paul denied he doesn't know. Fine. And Jude never told me anything about Northside Music. In fact, he actually denied it. Because he said to me, "Should people tell me about Northside Inc. And I mean get." I check. Everybody that paid money inside that account were all aggregators. And remember, the statement of account was between 2017 till 2023. From 2017 to 2023. That was what Jude presented to Lagos State government. So for that 2017-2023, aggregators are paid you nearly $1.2 million of our royalties. The question here, how did the aggregators left our company, Northside Entertainment, and start paying to Northside Music? Somebody should explain that to me. There's no way telling the company stop paying to non-sign entertainment. There should be a documentation that says Peter, Paul, and Jude agreed to stop paying to non-sign entertainment, start paying to non-sign music. Who signed on my behalf? This is the highest betrayal. Call it family. Family man. Families don't steal from their family. Families do not steal from their family. Family protect family. Now the question is, this crime, when did it start? PSquare broke up 2017, September. You gave Lagos State government statement of account. They started 2017, January. Does that mean that account have been diverting our money even before PSquare broke up? Go and check the letter I used in dismantling PSquare then. It was in September 2017. But you sent Lagos State statement of account of non-side music that you're already paying royalties on, that I was never part of. Now the question is Paul involved? The next thing I did was to involve a lawyer. I knew it was a fight. When I got a lawyer, I still gave it a chance. I approached Paul once again in his house. I said, Paul, I pray say this you don't know about that. Say, what am I talking about? Say, better you come clean. Trust me. So what do I mean? Who do plus and minus? Whatever I don't take from me, no problem. We'll calculate them. Tell me how I'll get them. We'll sell our catalog, remove my money, give me. I don't want problem. Say to me, he doesn't know what I'm talking about. He walked up. That shows that he doesn't know anything. The lawyer came. We prepared a petition. In that petition, he now made a petition against Paul and Jude. I said, no. Paul's not involved here. I said, remove Paul's name. He removed it. I said, remove Jude's name. See, they don't understand. I said, remove Jude's name. Focus on the company, not side music. So the petition was against North Side Music. That's why even in court, the case is about concerning North Side Music and federal government. When I wrote that petition, it took the law enforcement agency at least 6 months to investigate. I'm not sure if you guys remember after my open letter and the whole EFCC, when I talked about the EFCC, when I posted about it, how Jude came on live to say that he was shocked that I wrote petition against him and I still came to his house to play with his kids. That's how wicked I am. No, Jude. Point of correction. I took the company that you claim you have nothing, you know nothing about, you and Paul. I wrote petition against the company. I needed answers. So 6 months after the law enforcement agency finished their, investigation, Jude was then invited to their office because they now discovered that, of course, that the company is actually owned by him. Not just him and his wife. Paul was invited for questioning. What the letter said, dear Mr. Paul, please, there's an ongoing investigation going on. Please, we need your help to help us fast track the investigation. That's what they call it. They sent for Paul. And they sent it for Paul to come on a different day. Unfortunately, he decided to go to EFCC with Jude at the same day. Of course, they took them to separate rooms. Apparently, they asked Paul, who owns Northside Entertainment? Paul said it's owned by us, 3 of us. Correct. Paul, who owns Northside Inc.? Paul said, Jude. Mr. Paul, who now owns Northside Music?
I was that the kind of question they started asking himself. I wasn't comfortable. And I said, what is this?
Oh, why are they asking this question? Blah, blah, blah. Paul now says he's affiliated to Jude. That was how Jude was arrested. I was thinking Paul will come to me and say, hey, guy, now brother do this. See. When Jude was detained, unfortunately, he was detained on his birthday. He got bail that night. So after like about 4 or 5 days or so, the head of I think the zonal head of the law enforcement agency decided to call for a meeting. I came for that meeting. Myself, 2 of my lawyers, and my manager. Paul and Jude came alone, no legal team. We sat down. While the man was trying to see if we can come to an agreement, Paul said something that was shocking. While they were trying to find out how, they told Jude, do you know you committed a crime? And Jude said, yes. In his own word. Quote me. Both Jude affidavit, both his statement, he admitted he diverted money. PSquare phone. I don't have water in my mouth. Only for Paul to say in EFCC, this is the biggest betrayal I've never received in my life. Paul told the EFCC, sir, PSquare. This is PSquare. Me and Peter are the face. Oh God. Paul, or maybe can someone explain to me how Jude is PSquare, or how Jude owns PSquare? Jude have never invested 1 naira in PSquare. There is no contract whatsoever that we had. And the only document that just goes around showing everybody is the MOU we all signed in 2016. The same document I said that was my financial freedom. The MOU stated a sharing formula. And guess what? It's renewable every year. So in 2016, 2017, it has expired. And even the 3 ways that we share were just based on family. After all, our first manager was on percentage. Second, our mom wasn't on anything. Of course, she's our mom. The real manager that we actually employed, Howto, was taking 10%. You came out of brotherly love. We're sharing 3 ways. All of a sudden, you own PSquare. Paul, how? Paul went to City FM, granted an interview. In that interview, never for once did he tell the world that petition was against Jude or maybe Northside Music. Paul said with his own mouth, watch this.
I was invited by the EFCC. A petition against me and my other brother. And I did not expect, I never thought it would come to this part. I thought it was just music thing. Then next thing, people are telling me, what did you do? Somebody say you're going to go to jail 20 years. They're going to lock you up. What did I do? Okay, I got there. Okay, what is it? They told me everything. They've already printed all my account statement, everything, put it on the table. Explain this. First of all, what entered my mind? What if I was a bad person? I'm even doing one dubious like a Yahoo boy. I saw this guy don't just finish me. But I took it. And then they started investigation. I was there. That was the kind of question they started asking myself. I wasn't comfortable anymore. I said, what is this? Then, when I knew it was a bit kind of serious, was when I said, you have to get the shorty, you have to get the lawyer, you have to get this. I said, whoa. What? Look at Paul telling people that I wrote petition against him, Paul. He even said they told him to bring a shorty. Obviously, that means he was detained. I didn't respond to that. 2-3 weeks, the fans criticized me. In fact, I'm sure if they wanted to kill me, they would kill me. I did not respond. I was there for 2.5 weeks. After Paul granted that interview, never for once did he say that the petition was for Jude. He said that I wrote petition against him and our elder brother. That they told him to bring shorty. Obviously, that means they seized your passport. Let me tell you what Paul did. You went to grant interview. Everything that happened to Jude, you claim it was you that it happened to. Paul, what are you hiding? Paul, what are you hiding? Now, Paul still claimed that. Now, watch this part. He said that they cleared him, but they didn't come and apologize. 1 month ago, they called me, they called him, they called other brother. Say, first of all, we have to say that after all investigation, Paul is innocent, first, and Paul is cleared. Everything you accuse him of, we've done an investigation, no. After they told you everything, the truth came out that I was innocent. What would you do if you're done? What the next thing you do? I'm sorry.
Simple.
I didn't know.
Simple. So there was no I'm sorry from your brother?
Never.
Paul, you were never cleared. Because your name was not even there in the first place. You're not even a director. EFCC did their investigation and found out that the director of this Northside Music was Jude and his wife. In fact, Jude's wife owns 800,000 shares. Jude owns 200. I laugh when they say, oh, the woman caused their wahala. That way marry a Yoruba woman. My wife have never gotten involved in PSquare's affair. Let's assume it was Lola and I that owned that company. Lola owned 800,000. I'm gonna go crucify her. You think I'm lying? Look at it. Signed by the commissioner himself. CAC. Jude owns 200,000. Look at it. His wife owns 800,000 shares. The company diverted PSquare millions of dollars. I don't want to mention the amount, but I'm going to say it before the end of this video. Stick around. Now, after Paul finished granting our interview, 2.5 weeks, I wrote an open letter and I spoke about the EFCC matter. When I put it out there, I challenged Paul if he can prove there was a petition against him. Paul now went live. Watch this.
So let me start, like I said, let me start with the EFCC. Peter said he met me one time and he told me about diversion this, diversion that. Now let me clear something. If you open the petition Peter wrote, I guarantee you, in the front page, my name is not there.
Wait. In front of the petition, your name is not there. If I write petition against you, Paul, the first name you will see is your name. Okay, no problem. Let's continue.
If you open inside, inside the petition, you will see.
Wait. In front of the petition, your name is not there. Inside the petition, your name is not there. So who was the petition for Paul? Paul, who was the... Because even, you know why? Even if he mentioned that the petition was for Jude, the petition has not side music. They have to include Jude after they find out he was the owner of the company, him and his wife. And you tell me this is not a betrayal? Family do not steal from family. You tell me we are blood. Blood do not steal from blood. I hear people say you hate your brother that much. Tell me how I hate my brother. Who started this hatred? If three of us were making this money normally, was that going to be a problem? Why did you wake up one morning and start stealing from me? Now, listen to Paul in the same City FM.
I'm not speaking up because I want to bring anybody down, but I'm speaking up because the accusation was even more like he sold PSquare catalog, that is his share. The same catalog that I hear saying it, but the same catalog that I produced, I wrote, 99% me, 99%. Yeah, sometimes the fans don't like me saying it. Like I said, I know that I'm saying it now. 99% of the song is me.
Listen, he said, I mean they write, I mean they sing all the song. 99%. Mr. 99%, you went to EFCC now to tell them that PSquare is Jude, me and you are the face. EFCC man now said, Paul, prove it. Paul brought CAC document of Northside Entertainment. I said, this is it. That Jude owned 40 in PSquare, Peter and Paul owned 30 that. The EFCC man said, look at it and said, Northside Entertainment. Paul said, Paul, show me where PSquare is written inside this document. Inside the CAC document. Paul said, but that's what we used to run in PSquare. The man said, where is the contract between Northside Entertainment and PSquare? Paul now brought in resolution that we did in 2016, if I'm not mistaken, about sharing formula, where they made it look like if the PSquare are Peter, Paul and Jude. But remember one time, I was smart. That document is renewable every single year. Every single year. How are we going to be sharing money? Those are the period where I can boast. That document, you see that resolution? That document was my financial freedom. That was the first time I would do show like this. I have millions in my account. I never had millions. Because how I collect money is, as I said earlier, I want to pay my children's school fees, 15 million, they'll give me a check, 15 million, 40, 15 million. That's how we've been living. Have you guys noticed that anytime PSquare break up, it didn't like saying that Peter they come back. Because when PSquare breaks up, I can't access money. Peter becomes broke. Today I'm the bad egg. I'm not clap for myself. Like I said, hope this thing what they do, Muna go collect her. Una if you take 1% of her. I said, I thought this one would insult me, but I am used to it. No amount, see, let me repeat it again. No amount of insult is reduce success. Lie. Go check her. No matter how they don't try to hate me for this PSquare matter, no amount could stop this success. They created a narrative. How do you guys feel? They stole from me. They discredited all my effort. They told you guys I was talentless. Paul claimed 99%. I'm sure the remaining 1%, he even gave it to Jude. Let me ask you a question. PSquare was here. I'm talking to Paul now. and all of you that are supporting this madness because of you think it's blood. PSquare was here. Davido, Burnaboy, everybody was here. Don't get me wrong, PSquare no trouble. We're still there here. These guys all went and overthrown us. Mr. 99% how far? Are you not supposed to be competing with these guys? Are you not supposed to be selling out stadium like they do? Oh, today they compare me and you with all the 99% where you get. Some people they support rubbish. Why not they continue? I reported a company that both of you denied. Despite I knew it was you, Jude. When they told me, Peter, are you sure you want to hear what happened? I said, what? They said everything you told us in your petition is true, is even more than. I said, okay. Here is this, here is this, here is this. How do you feel? I said, I can't wait to leave and go and meet Paul and tell him what I discovered. He said, you don't have to go there. That Paul is involved.